Good evening. I'm Chuck Scarborough.
And I'm Rana Novini in for Natalie Pascarella. The Democrats' opening contest in Decision 2020 is still a muddled mess.
Yes, after a night and a day of wrestling with the vote count from the Iowa caucuses, an hour ago, the state's Democratic Party managed to deliver only partial returns, just 62% of the statewide results. Now, bearing in mind that more than a third of the Iowa vote has yet to be counted, here's where the race stands right now. Pete Buttigieg in the lead, followed closely by Bernie Sanders, with Elizabeth Warren in third place and Joe Biden trailing in fourth. So how will this debacle affect the rest of the presidential race?
That's a big question. News 4 government affairs reporter Melissa Russo is in Iowa. But first, we want to go to News 4's Andrew Siff, who is with the candidates who've now moved on to New Hampshire without a clear picture, Andrew, of the outcome.
Yeah, Rana, a lot of the candidates raced out to New Hampshire before they knew what had gone on in Iowa. And in fact, as you indicated, with those preliminary numbers now showing Pete Buttigieg in the lead, within the last 30 minutes, Buttigieg talked about these new developments. He was appearing at a rally about an hour north of Manchester in Laconia, New Hampshire. Buttigieg, who was criticized last night for declaring victory without any data to back it up, still tonight sounded upbeat.
I want you to hear something from me. A little later than we anticipated, but better late than never. Official, verified caucus results are coming in from the state of Iowa. They're not complete, but results are in from a majority of precincts, and they show our campaign in first place.
Now, Bernie Sanders, on his plane from Iowa to New Hampshire, spoke with reporters and said he was very disappointed with the malfunctioning process in Iowa, but still thought he could ultimately prevail when the final count was in. And Elizabeth Warren arrived in New Hampshire early this morning, and she said that she always thought she'd be in the top three, and those numbers suggest that she was. But as you indicated at the outset, Chuck, Joe Biden in fourth place. The longtime political wisdom was there are only 3 tickets out of Iowa. So what does that mean for the former Vice President, Joe Biden? He has a rally in New Hampshire later tonight and may shed some light on what that means for him. We are live in Manchester, New Hampshire. Andrew Siff, News 4 New York.
Indeed, Andrew, thank you very much. And News 4 Government Affairs reporter Melissa Russo is in Des Moines, where they're still trying to count the votes out there. Melissa, this could not be how any of the Democratic presidential candidates envisioned this day unfolding.
Definitely not, Chuck. I think several of them obviously feel like they did not get the return that they wanted on their investment of time here in terms of a bounce that they might get. Although Pete Buttigieg, we just heard in Andrew's report, is trying to make the most of it. What is usually a real point of pride for Iowans, however, has quickly become a sore point. The chairman of the Iowa Democratic Party defending the delay that leaves us now still without complete results almost 24 hours after we watched caucusing get underway in what began as a very transparent process. The party chairman at a news conference blaming a coding error in an app for the failure to report the results quickly, but insisting that the actual results themselves are accurate and intact.
Now, the fact is that as we started doing this last night, it took longer than we expected. And so, but my paramount concern is making sure that these results are accurate and reflect what happened last night in caucuses across the state. We're going to do just that, and we're going to take the time we need to do that.
What's a little bit ironic, though not getting a lot of attention right now, is the fact that all this drama is really a direct result of changes that were made to try to make this caucusing process more transparent, releasing 3 sets of numbers instead of just 1. And some locals are telling me, hey, these are caucuses, these are homespun community events run by volunteers, not professionals. They use coin tosses and back of the envelope math. So we get results a little bit late. Is that so terrible? But that defense does not seem to be flying on the national stage, with President Trump potentially tonight making reference to what he's called an unmitigated disaster. We are live in Des Moines. Melissa Russo, News 4 New York.
Thank you for watching this video from NBC4 New York. You can subscribe by tapping the button below me, and on the left you can see our latest updates, investigations, and digital exclusives. We'll see you next time.